welcome back everybody to another installment of Nain Shorts. Still, the weather does not permit for shorts, so none for me today. Thank you again for joining me, those that watch, all of you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We definitely appreciate the love, so keep it going. Today I wanted to explore another exercise, and the reason for the exercise is not so much for the physical motor skills, but for the ideas, the exploration of a concept. This particular concept we refer to as shield and sword. Now, the moment I say those words specifically, your mind races with ideas as to what they could actually mean. At its most basic, a sword kills, a shield protects. It keeps things from reaching you. But as Captain America has shown us, that shield can be very offensive, or not vulgar, just be used in an offensive manner. I just tied myself up. Oh my goodness. But the point is that you can use a shield to attack. It doesn't have to be solely for defense. And in this exercise, we're going to explore the possibilities of when one can become the other. You notice I have two sticks, so we will be using both hands. Now, there is a purpose to this, why we start our students off with these particular exercises, to understand what eventually becomes gunting, which those in the FMA community know what that is. Scissor, open, close. But the reason why we do it this way is so the student gets a sense of utilizing both sides to become ambidextrous, not just physically, but mentally, to understand that no one side is just one thing at any given point. And then we can explore the possibilities of how a simple movement can be utilized for many different things, depending on the situation, depending on the change of weapon, the angle, or whether you even have a weapon or not. So that's the exploration of the concept itself. Now, the exercise is fairly rudimentary. It's very simple motions. There are specifics that we'd like to emphasize in those motions, and I'm going to show them to you first, just on both sides. Now, the feeder, the person giving the strikes, can either do it with two sticks or a single stick. But essentially, we're going to feed very simple diagonal from the right and then diagonal from the left. Again, it could be done with the same stick. It doesn't really matter. But the emphasis, the importance of the feeder is to really go for that head. Really give a sense of, hey, I'm trying to hit you. Make sure that it's a wide swing and that we're really reaching out to that opponent. It helps the person receiving understand that, hey, this is a dangerous thing. I should probably do everything I can, everything I'm supposed to keep myself safe. Keeping in mind that at the very beginning, we do it slow, no power. It's all about level 1 ideas, the motion itself. The concepts then can be explored safely, because what the receiver is going to be doing is starting off from a closed position, and then they come up and they're going to receive. Now, keep in mind that when I say receive, I don't mean stop. I don't mean to shield as in keep the motion from happening, but rather to move with the motion, complete it. And one side or the other is going to push that stick to whatever direction you need it to go to. If it's coming from the right, you can push it down, you can push it this way. If you catch it on the side, you can push it down, or you can push it up if that's where you want to go, because the importance is what happens after this motion. If this stick is deflecting the weapon, then this is attacking. And you go back to the very beginning. And then again, you get fed, you open up. If this is pushing, this one's attacking. Now, this becomes very important because not just the concept of moving somebody's weapon, somebody's attack away from you, keeping yourself safe, shielding you from danger, but you're automatically putting yourself in a position where you can use the sword concept. And even more so later on, at what point is one or the other? Or are they both? These are the things that we're going to explore in this particular exercise. And at this point, I would like to invite my instructor, Rico, to help me out with the physical demonstration of it. Rico, say hi to the audience.
Hi, audience.
Yeah, right. Good job.
I'm back.
So he has 2 sticks right now. So he is going to deliver left and right, one at a time, allowing me to do my bit. So I'm receiving here. Now, keep in mind, I'm stopping here just to illustrate where I want to receive this, because that becomes very important. Now, if I receive it too close to my hand, very easily I'm going to get hurt. If I receive it too far at the end, something's going to buckle. So I really want to catch the sweet spot where it's half down my stick, but more importantly, I keep moving. As this pushes that out of the way, this is gearing up for the hits. He feeds the next one. Now I'm pushing that one down as this one strikes, this strikes, and I'm back here. Oh, strike, strike. This time, I moved in a little bit because I don't want to move in the direction that he's going. I want to push it this way to be on his inside. And same thing on the other side when he feeds his right. I want to push this that way so I can attack on the inside. Again, how we receive it and the sensitivity in which we use, because if you do this hard, you're going to miss it. It's going to be stopping this. You're just going to go, "Ugh!" Which again, that's not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise is, how do I get this out of the way? Because if I keep it here, I can't strike him. He has this shield protecting him. He has that too. So if I move it out of the way, now I have a free shot to do what I need to do. Again, this concept can then be explored at various angles. If he comes and I step in, now I'm here. Now, this stick hits on the tip, this one, where I want it to. So it makes more sense for me to push this down and attack from here. But what if then I'm somewhere else and he strikes again? Oh, now I did both sticks. Why? Well, because that seemed like the easiest thing to do. But still, one moves and it becomes something else. Now I'm just exploring. That happened? Was it supposed to happen? Maybe, maybe not. We don't plan these things out. But we do understand the concepts of what we're trying to accomplish. Because eventually, you're not going to have sticks. So the progression for that is, okay, now we're doing a single stick. Now if I meet together, oh wait, what does that become? Oh, I can move this out of the way. Oh, there we go. That's passing. All right, one more time. Now I'm opening it. Oh, this deflects, this destroys the hand, the arm, and I'm back to attacking with both hands. Sorry about that. But that's where the concept then becomes, it's not the sequence itself. The motions are rudimentary. What they become later on is going to be dependent on, oh, now I don't have a stick. Oh, well, this shielded me from getting hurt. This, whether I hack, whether I punch, I'm trying to destroy something. But then it moves on to something else. Because it's not a motion to stop, but it's to move something out of the way to give you an advantage over your opponent. He drops a stick. Now it's empty hands. I took out his shoulder. This, coming toward me, it's the same motion, but it's at a different plane now. I'm not doing it here. That wouldn't make sense for me to do it here. But because I understand that the simple concept of this shield is to keep me from getting hurt, to moving this in a direction or in a place where it's not going to be any damage, and then at the same time attack. Or deflect and then attack. Oh wait, it looks a lot like our parry play strap.
Huh.
Bop, bop, bop. Huh. So just changing the timing. When you do these things, how close to each other, whether it's one or the other, you start exploring the variations of what it can become later on. And more importantly, because it was explored with the sticks, a visual aid, you can see where you can change, what happens when a change does occur that you weren't expecting in this particular drill. And then you realize I can move in this direction, I can move in this direction. Now you're no longer constricted to doing a technique that's specific to one move, but rather you can move in any direction that you need to, keeping the concept alive of protecting yourself whether it's hurting what's coming at you or moving it out of the way to give you a better advantage to, again, stop the attack from continuing.
Now, when we talk about the hand stuff, how does that relate to what goes on with the feet? Do we sidestep so that we can get those pushes to be better, be more solid and more refined as to what direction we want to push that individual to?
That's part of the sensitivity that happens with the sticks. Because as we were playing with earlier, if you don't mind, if I change the angle in which I receive, I have to move. I have to get out of the way. Otherwise, I'm here.
Right.
If I stay right in front of you and you come outside of me, I'm getting crushed. In order for this structure to be sound, I have to get out of the way. I have to move. My feet have to be in a position where I can receive this. Because as you can tell, my center line is no longer towards my opponent. It's towards what's coming at me. Because if I do that, if I keep this in front of me here, then I can take the full brunt of that. Then I can move it if I need to. He can only put pressure in one direction. So if I change the direction, in which I move, now it moves even easier because I'm going with the flow of his movements. But I have to move. Originally, we learned it here in front. It's here and there. Bop, 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 bop. Because that's the simplest thing. That's where we get the physical movements, the mechanics behind them. But after that, it has to change because, first of all, we're not going to have sticks when we fight. But secondly, if we did have sticks, nobody's going to stand in front of you and just say, I'm just going to attack you. They're going to put movement behind it. They're going to put body behind it. They're going to put pressure behind it. And if all you do is taking the brunt, you have to disengage and then start again. But if you're constantly moving with it, moving from one side, then you can move. You're already moving to this side. You can stop it short. So he can't generate any force because I'm constantly moving towards what's most advantageous to me. But that becomes a matter of sensitivity. It becomes something that you explore with the sticks because you can see it. It's wide, it's big. You can see the lines. You can see, that's deviating from what I'm used to receiving. And your body automatically starts adjusting from the get-go. So then you're not stagnant at any given point. So when you move on to hands, of course, the range has to change. A move has to happen for him to be close enough to hurt me and for me to do something to him. So the feet, it becomes inherent into the movement itself because the exploration isn't the physical stuff. It's the ideas behind it, the concept of the shield and sword. At what point is this a shield? At what point is it a sword? Can I eventually, as he attacks, use the same one? This time I did one hand. Now, what did I do? I hit his hand. That's my shield. In the Blade of Mine, we don't consider defense. We only consider offense and counter offense, which means this is my counter offense. I protected myself by crushing his hand, but if you notice, my movement still clears that out of the way. The job that I was doing with two sticks is now being done with one. What if I attack his leg first as I move out of the way and then come back? It's still shield and sword, but now I'm exploring it beyond the double stick, beyond using both hands to see how well do I understand that concept, because it's all about staying safe. And if that's the idea behind everything that we do, well, then hurting him before he hurts me is going to keep me pretty safe. But again, just an idea, something to explore. Thank you very much for your help. Appreciate it. Again, it's not something that you haven't seen before, not something that you probably haven't trained before. But as we always say in the Bladed Mind, it's not what we teach, it's how we teach it. It's how we look at the concepts. The physical movements are rudimentary and you can spend the time refining them. That's great. It helps. But ultimately, how effective any one movement is will depend on your understanding of what that movement is meant for. And if you can grasp that understanding, then you can use it everywhere else. Because the concepts are just ideas, ways to keep you safe, habits that you can build that can be translated to anything physically. So, just a thought. Again, thank you for joining me here on another one of Nain's Shorts. I do appreciate you watching. I hope you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share with a friend. And you have yourself a wonderful evening. And that's 3, 2, 1, cut!